What I'm about to tell you is 100% truth. Black people problems started when they first started to walk away from all of the black organizations. The organizations that looked out for them. The organizations that truly was looking out for their best interests. Today, black people no longer think that these organizations are needed. They think that this is the new time. The time where we don't need a base core value black organization. This is the reason why you have the problems today. When all of the black organizations were strong, all the way from the Panther Party to any other black organization, we didn't have all of the crimes being committed against black people. We didn't have the black on black crimes that we had in the community. We didn't have all the hate and jealousy that we have in the community today. We didn't have black people being killed and shot and murdered in the streets by officers and civilians. We did not have that. What happened to black people? They all started to walk away from their core value black organizations because they thought they was no longer needed. They wanted to jump into the Rainbow Coalition of America, which was nothing but a lie. Because now that we have jumped in this pot, we have nothing. Even though that we give all of our all to America, we join the military, we do everything in this country to try to be accepted, but we're still not being accepted. But at the same time, we wonder why everything is the way it is. I can tell you one of the true reasons is when we started to walk away from the black organizations. Back then, they had organizations that fed people, helped people get housing. Black people were together and unified. Through black organizations, we looked out and made sure that there was no black people being beat down. The cops was killing nobody. We made sure everything was okay. And back then, everything was okay. It was under control. But we got comfortable. We got caught up in America's ways, and now that we think we don't need these black organizations, we start to look at these organizations as being extreme. How could one minute we need these organizations, and now we look at these organizations as black extremists? Even the new Black Panther Party received flack from black people. It's not just the other people in America that is against these black organizations. It is black people with their new watered down retarded philosophy. And they wonder why things are the things and the times are the times and the days are the days and everything are the way they are today. It's because you guys walked away from the black organizations. You walked away from the organizations that had your prosperity in their best interests. That's what happened. Black people today do not want to join black organizations. They will go join somebody else's so-called Rainbow Coalition. That is the problem. When black people stop looking out for black people, now we're being killed and murdered in the street. Why? Because you're not understanding what's going on. They wanted black people to walk away from these organizations for you can have nothing. And now that you walked away from these organizations, you have nothing. You turned your back on these core value black organizations that worked tooth and nail to try to keep everything together, but you walked away from them. And every time they have a meeting, only 32 black people show up. You guys walked away from the true core values of black organizations, and that's why you are suffering, because you have no base. This new philosophy that's going on with these David Carolls and these so-called other people talking about what we need to do, they don't know nothing. They're not doing nothing. They're not in the street like the nation is. They're not out there giving people food. They're not feeding nobody. They're not doing nothing but getting on YouTube and running their mouth. Because this is the new watered down version of black people, which ain't getting nowhere and not even being respected. You know why black people have no respect? Because you're doing the watered down version. That's why. When you walked away from black organizations that was there for you, that fought tooth and nail and was willing to risk their life for you. Look at all of the black organizations and black leaders right to this day that black people don't even take time out to listen to. Look how many black organization videos that are on YouTube and they can't even get 1,000 views. It's you, black people. You walked away from the organizations. You walked away from the people that truly loved you, and you went out to put your trust in the hands of the master. That's why you will never have nothing, because you trust your life more with the enemy than you trust when your own people. You run to American-made organizations to try to solve your problems. That's your problem, because you walked away from the black core value. You walked away from black organizations, those that really had your best at interest. That's why you are suffering today, and you will continue to suffer until you turn around and come back home. Come back to those that love you, and stop putting your trust in your enemies, and stop putting your trust in America, because they will never pay you for reparations. They don't care about slavery. They don't give a dang about what they did to you. Only thing they want you to do is to walk away from who you are. Walk away from your organizations, for you can't have no help. Walk away from your organizations, for you can be killed in the street. That's why they tricked you. That's why they bamboozled you out of following these black organizations and these black leaders, for you can have nothing and no foundation to stand on. That's the reason why they did it. Black people, come back home. Come back to your black organizations. Stop trusting the enemy. Stop trusting those that ain't got your best interest, and come back home to those that love you, and those that care for you, and those that are willing to risk their life for you to make life better for you. Thank you for listening. Like, subscribe. One love.